experience, the African experience, and it is something that we should. It's really an extension of us. I mean, in terms of when you talk about the culture, one of the things I remember very vividly was that having gone to school and worked in the African American community, you know, they were always fascinated with our with African culture, African traditions. They would change their names to African names, and as a matter of fact, they were more fascinated with our heritage, the African heritage, than even us. I remember that Orisha
Yes.
was a very big thing in Holland. Um, they would often come to me, my colleagues, and they would be asking me about our Orisha, about Shango, Batala, and such. And there was a thirst and hunger to even learn more. They were changing their names. You couldn't even get any movies or that anything. Like Joe Ladipo didn't was big, but there was no way you could even get any audio production on Joe Ladipo to produce the Shango movie, and I'm presently trying to wind up on the production of my Ocean.
Oshun, you are working on Oshun
Oh
now.
yeah.
Okay. Where is the place of culture in nation building?
Well, it streamlines your it streamlines how you live amongst your how you live how you live in your society, and it's more or less it's a guideline. It's a guideline. It's a guide to how you behave when you're amongst your peers, as it were, and we have to be able to pass on our tradition to the upcoming generation. And we have basically guidelines on how to live in the society.
Is it true that people like you, people like few others who have crossed over the Atlantic into the other world, into the new world, seem to understand the value of our culture than those of us who have remained here in Africa? I will set an example. If we go to the city of Bahia in Brazil, they still worship our Ogun, Shango. They still prepare Ekuru, Akara. They still do a lot of Obatala festivals. And in 2018, the Brazilian government adopted Yoruba language as one of the national languages in that country. But to us here in this part of the world, the real owners of the language, the real owners of the culture, seem to have deviated from its principles of usage. What's your reaction to this, sir?
Well, I don't think deviation is intentional. Remember, we've been indoctrinated by Weibo. Who came and he imposed his own viewpoints on us, and we want to survive in this society. We it's normal. It's they came imposed their own ideas on us, and we want to survive. And many of us feel that that's the best way of doing things. But I don't think it's like we I don't think that we should be too hard on our own people, um, because it's really we don't really value what we have, and we're not really it's not to be expected. I think it's only when you go out, like I said, when I had an opportunity of going out and I was exposed. Um, and then the African American friends were wanting to turn me into Babalawo. They were asking me all kinds of things about you know Shango and Oya and Orisha and everything. And when I told them that, look, me, I grew up watching Tarzan and and things like that, and because that's what the white man brought to us.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So I don't think we should be, but it's the value and continue to push it, push it, push it, push it, push it. And uh, but at the same time, I think it's very good for us. We don't we're not no man is on an island. It's good for us to be able to be exposed, see what people in other parts of the world are doing.
Okay. Now, let's look at other parts of the world. Japanese,
Yes.
who appreciate and speak their language and their culture. Koreans will do same. To do same. Before India gained their independence in 1947 from the Great Britain people, they were under the British rule.
Yes.
Yes, the way the British ruled India was almost the same way they ruled Nigeria. The same way the Brazilians were led by the Portuguese. It's the same way Argentina was led by the Spanish. These countries seem to have retraced their history, their identity, their culture, their language. Although they still speak some of a fraction of this foreign language, but they still appreciate theirs. Why is it difficult for Nigerians to appreciate our culture, our tradition? It's only dressing as if they are after 2,000 seasons. We said the 1,000 season of moist, the 1,000 season of dryness. Africa left their culture. They wanted to catch up with the Western world. They didn't catch up with the Western world. They have left Africa, so they are dangling in between. How can we reconcile this to have a formidable value that can be followed?
Well, the thing is this: first and foremost, we in Nigeria, whether we like it or not, we have more than we have 240 cultures in one environment, and that's we can't run away from that. We have 240 nations put together for the convenience of Weibo, and everybody. Then you have an additional issue that we have to all contend with, and that is the issue of overpopulation. Well, now everybody has to struggle. What should have, I think should have just been an everyday thing. We're talking about struggling to survive right now. So I don't think that then the additional survival, hunger is not an easy thing, and you have to. You want to live within the laws of the country or the society like that. So I think that that to me is the root cause of our country.
Okay.
To be quite honest.
Okay. Now, before I start allowing those who are listening to this program to be part of it by calling us, let's look at the non-documentation of most of our values. Non-documentation. Yorubas will start taking a younger person as an accomplice or as an apprentice. When that elderly person dies, the deity would naturally die. Now, you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Now, most of our cultural values are not documented in black and white. So that leads us to more of oral tradition, oral literature, than the conventional write-ups. How can scholars like you come together as you have produced Shango, you are now working on Oshun? Invariably, you are documenting.
Not just us, not just us. One of my, to buttress what you're saying.
Yes.
For Ogun State, where we still have not been able to let the younger generation know that women came from Benin. the public to try and capture Abeokuta. Where do you hear that? How many people know about that? So, I mean, there are these aspects that need to be documented. And the thing is for people like us to try the Amazon, the war between Dahomey and Egba, to continue exposing, especially to the youth, that they have to see if it is not going to be beneficial to them. I don't think anybody's going to have time to start worrying about stuff like that.
Okay.
If it doesn't put food on your table, at the end of the day, values of your culture to the efforts, how can this
first, then retention of those values will follow.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, well, to those who are listening to this program, you can equally follow us on our social media platforms. We are live and direct on our Facebook page. You can watch us live there at Ogun Radio Abeokuta. Please subscribe and share. You can equally follow us on our Instagram page, on our Twitter account, and you can equally watch us live on our Facebook page at Ogun Radio Abeokuta. You can equally send your WhatsApp messages to 0803 437 9453. The two hotlines this morning are 0803 437 9453, 0815 0320226. The cultural ambassador of Femi Lasode is still in the house to tell us more about how we can use our culture to direct the affairs of our society, how we can transmit our culture to younger generation without being adulterated, how we can use our culture to form a formidable society, a society that can live without being influenced by foreigners. Yes, he's going to answer questions on our culture as the software, our society as the hardware. So you can begin to call now, but don't exceed a minute and a half as you have always been, so that we can take as much as possible this wonderful Sunday morning. I take from quickly. Okay, let's have your question. Amen. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Big Daddy. We will take a few more reactions so that our guests will attend to them all together. 003 437 9453. Hello, good morning. Yes, sir. Thanks for calling this one. Your name?
Good morning to you.
Hello. Okay, that's a drop call. Hello, good morning. Can you please lower the volume of your radio set? Thanks for calling this one. Good morning, sir. Fine, sir.
Good morning to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes.
You are on, sir. Yes. Mm.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Lasode Ajayi. 0815-032-0226, 0803-037-9453 are the numbers to call this morning. Can you lower the volume of your radio set? Good morning. Okay. Mm. Mm. Thank you very much, Alhaji Ailabogo from Lanlate. We'll just add one more call. So Mr. Lasode will now respond to the first 5 callers. Then from thereafter we'll continue taking reactions from people. Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning. Okay. You are on. Quickly, let's have your name, sir. Hello, can you please use the other line? Please use the other line. That line is not clear enough. Okay, why we do that, Mr. Lasode? Quite a number of people have raised issues. Big Daddy talked about a drum festival, and then saying, adding that history as a subject is no more taught in schools again. Don't know how you got his fact, but can you react to this? Is the study of history in school, is there an added advantage to our cultural entrenching?
It's very important.
Okay.
It's very, very important because you from your history you can even see how culture has evolved.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And but the point is that one has to make a big effort to try to um, ensure that the up and coming generation are aware of the importance of not just to get up in the morning and kneel or bow for an elder, but they have to be told why. Why? I mean, why was he? What is the reason
For doing that.
for doing that?
Mm.
I mean, they have to be taught. Well, I don't know. I don't. I think most they've really gone out of their way to ensure that the culture, that the Yoruba culture
It's closely followed.
close. I'm impressed.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm impressed.
Okay,
I think you guys have
let's
really
quickly
done
add
much.
let's quickly add this person. He's been on the line for some few seconds. Good morning to you. Yeah, thanks for calling, sir. Okay. Good morning, sir. That's incisive contributions. He has said Yoruba language and history should be made compulsory in both primary and secondary schools in our Yoruba land if our culture is to remain valid. Okay, Ridwan talked about Yoruba language that has been neglected and relegated to the background. He said, can't curriculum developers work on Yoruba language and literature in our schools? Yeah, I think you're going to say the same thing.
Well, the thing is, well, I have a peculiar problem,
Mm.
um, and that is the fact that my mother is was and coming back, I found out that even when I was trying to on my own try to Europe, um, it became a source of a joke. You understand? There was no real intent on trying to put me through as such, but just I was a source of mockery.
Mm.
You know, I wasn't going on. But and then my father noticed that this was a problem I was having, and he ensured that my younger ones went and uh, took Yoruba for work.
Okay, it's good start.
For
Then,
work, school set. He
mm.
made sure, you know. Well, then people like us that are left stranded. I still try to speak Yoruba, but I find it very fascinated with it. But I'm very fascinated. That's why I love all this our stories, traditional stories. Yeah, well, that's just I think it's me. But the thing is, there has to be a reason. You have to give a person a reason to want to delve into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Osheni from Ilaro said language is key in cultural development, and Yoruba language is neglected in most primary and secondary schools. He said Yoruba and history be made compulsory. You have answered that question from what Ridwan said.
Yeah.
Alhaji Ayew Labogo from Lalate was saying that culture is diminishing in Nigeria and believes charity begins at home. So at home, most homes speak even adulterated English to their children.
Yes.
Even the English they speak is not correct. And yet they've abandoned the Yoruba language. What's your advice to this kind of parents?
Well, I think it's very, very important that we need to ensure whatever way. Like my father went out of his way, knowing that have the person that was supposed to teach me Yoruba was my mother was not a Nigerian.
Yes.
You understand? Because that's where language starts.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yes.
so and then he went out of his way to ensure that the younger ones must. And then furthermore, I grew up when they were students in England, and of course I had to follow them. So I had that an additional thing issue, you know. But I think this whole idea of this forcing everybody, all this 240, 245 must live together. I think that's one of the areas that is killing
The culture.
culture.
Exactly. Okay. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Thanks for calling, sir. Your name.
Good morning, sir. Thank, thank you.
Okay. Bible. Yoruba Bible. Okay. Okay, let's Mr. Lasode, let him respond to that, sir. Thank you very much, Mr. Apostle Taiwa Inobode from Sharp Corner area in Jeja here in Abeokuta. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, we'll add this one to it. So that, good morning. Yes. Rotimi, thanks for calling. Mm. Yes. Mm. Thank you, Mr. Rotimi from Saliake. Compulsory subjects in schools these days.
Yes.
They say in sciences that you take fishery or you take agric. Yoruba in Yoruba land should have been made compulsory for every pupil to write to sit for in examination, both in primary school leaving certificate and in secondary school leaving certificate. So also Igbo language in southeast. So also Hausa language in the north. By doing so, you're going to entrench that cultural development. But in a situation where your local languages are optional subjects, then you are giving good money. Yes, sir, your name, sir. Hello, good morning. Okay. Okay, that's it. We'll go and get to a religious program you call. Oh, quickly because of our time, sir.
No.
He has Mr. Ajayi. He has made a comment. We married the questions with two other questions because of our time. Thank you very much. He has commented on that. 003-437-9453. Hello, good morning. Yes, sir. Okay, let's take a look at what Pa Nobody was asking you. He said it is sad that Yoruba is eroding away. Everybody is sad.
Yes.
Now, let's put it back to them. Is any of them attending Ifa festival or Ogun festival? Even some of us who are talking now, how often do we go to Igbale to see a Google? Or when they are doing Igu, how often do we eat their Ekura and Akara? Mr. Lasode, your reaction, sir?
Well, I see there's a contradiction.
Contradiction.
You want one united Nigeria, and you still expect to maintain your culture and tradition, when the whole concept of unity is making you want to. I mean that you're adopting a culture, I mean your tradition, your culture, everything is dissipating, and you still. I don't think you can have the two. You can have that issue. I mean, two together. If you want to maintain a Yoruba culture, you must have a Yoruba nation. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
You can't erode that. I mean, you can't erase that. You want to maintain your culture, your tradition, be able to speak your language. You can't have the two. And that's just my own thinking.
Okay. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Your name? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Kola Oguyinka. 0803-437-9453, 0815-032-0226. These are the two numbers to call this one. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear us? Okay. Good morning. Okay. Use of families now taking a cue from foreigners in naming their children. In some families, names like Grace, Worship,
Yes.
uh, Henry, Eric. These are foreign names.
Yes.
Some will tell you they can't bear Yoruba names again. In fact, some people don't even name their children Yoruba names. They give them foreign names. In such homes, can you even speak Yoruba language?
Like me.
No, yours is understandable. If your mom is from Sierra Leone,
Yeah.
everybody knows that Sierra Leone used to be the port of call for the return of slaves from the third world,
Yeah.
from the new world into Africa, back to the base. Yes, it's understandable that such person will have difficulties. But someone who was born and bred in Yoruba land, whose paternal and maternal genealogy is traceable to Yoruba land, and yet is giving foreign names to the offspring, then we begin to ask questions, like what Mr. Boyega just asked.
Well, this is my own thinking.
Okay,
Um, these are just you have over what is the size of the population of the Yoruba
nation.
nation.
Let's just say
You
maybe like 50 million.
you must always have deviants, no matter what. I see them as deviants. It's not I'm proud of the way that the Yoruba people try to ensure that their language, their culture, from what I've observed, I'm 65 years old, 67 years old, sorry, and I think I'm impressed that they go out of they try at least to ensure that the culture, the language is not eroded. So I see it from a different, totally different. You do have deviance, definitely.
So,
You
so
can't expect
everybody to fall on the same queue.
It's not possible.
So deviant must naturally exist.
Definitely.
Okay, let's add this one to the calls this morning. Good morning. Good morning to you, sir. Yes, sir. Your name, sir. Thanks for calling, Costanza. Yes, sir. Thank you, Honorable Fasil Bakene, for that wonderful contributions.
Once again, I'm back to this issue.
Okay.
Can you really say you want to maintain Yoruba culture, the names, and everything, and still live a multi-ethnic community, society?
Hmm.
I don't know if it's possible.
Okay. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Yes, sir. Thanks for calling this morning.
Good morning, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. maybe 2 calls, then our guests will respond to that and we'll wrap up the program this morning. 080-3437-9453, 08150320226. Hello, good morning. Yes, your name and where you're calling from. Comrade Committers for calling this morning. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Comrade Akoni from Ayetoro. Hello, good morning. Yes, quickly, can you please lower the volume of your radio set? Okay, let's have your say quickly. Muhyiddin. Okay. One. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Muhyiddin. Okay. Thank you very much, Muhyiddin. I think he has made our day with his explanation this morning. He said Western education and religion were those contributing factors to the erosion of our culture in this part of the world. As we wrap up, your takeaway this morning, Mr. Lasode.
Well, if one really wants to, retain our culture, our Yoruba culture,
Yes.
our language, I don't think can escape from having a Yoruba republic. It's something that is needed. If you want to retain Yoruba culture, you must have it. I don't think you can run away from that. You're a Yoruba Republic. I don't see it, being able to the language to survive if we don't have total control of every aspect of it.
Okay. So that as regards that. The same thing will play out among the Hausas.
Yeah.
The same thing will play out among the Igbos.
Exactly.
Now, we are going home. We are going home this morning. Your message to those parents who speak adulterated English to their children.
Well, I'm pretty sure they are following what they were taught, from their own parents. But it's not just enough to want to. You can't walk around with a cane and start caning everybody because you have to let them understand the necessity. I mean, why you need to retain the culture, why you need to speak the language. What are the benefits? What are the gains
of that?
Yeah, well, that's just my own viewpoint.
Thank you very much.
But I know that I'm personally I'm impressed. I think Yoruba people, no matter what anybody says, they've tried in terms of wanting to, propagate, maintain, keep that the Yoruba language, Yoruba culture. I'm impressed.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Obafemi Lasode. I call him cultural ambassador, someone who has been a playwright, songwriter, film producer, film director, who has been so instrumental to one of the finest productions from Yoruba land, Shango, in 1997. Thanks so much for being our guest today on this edition of Sunday Night.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you very much. Benga Shide, as usual, is the producer of this program. Wahid Ogujobi and Abiodu Gudipe assisted him in the production. Samuel Odunleye has been pressing the right thing as a studio manager, while Tokpe Babalola is the announcer on Tuesday. Francis Seriosho